In this video we're gonna set this enemy whenever we come in attack range, he will play the attack animation as you can see, but whenever we're not in attack range he will just patrol around the ground. Okay, so without furthering delay, let's dive into this topic. Okay, so what we need, I'm gonna drag the animation tab over here. We're gonna create two animation, a run animation and the attack animation. So select the patrol enemy and create a new clip. Okay, create, hit the create button, and we're gonna firstly go to assets, and we have created as a animation folder. As you can see, we're gonna place the animation over there, and we also have created this subfolder patrol enemy underscore animation. You can do so by right click new. Okay, new, and then folder, name that folder to patrol enemy underscore animation, and we're gonna open up that folder, and we're gonna name this animation to something like patrol enemy. Okay, patrol enemy underscore run. Okay, and then hit after doing that. So also what we need to find those sprites. Okay, frame sprites for run animation. So we're gonna go to nightbound. Okay, so hit the record button to record the animation, and we're gonna select those run frames, and we're gonna drag it into the animation tab. So now if we play the animation, as you can see, this is too fast. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make spaces between these keyframes. So just select that, and like 40, I guess 40 I think would be fine. And if I play now, it's fine. So so what we're gonna do, we're gonna create another animation which will be attack animation. So I'm gonna hit once again, whenever done, hit one again this record button to record the animation. Okay, and select the patrol enemy once again and create a new clip, and we're gonna name this animation patrol enemy underscore, we're gonna call it something like attack. Okay, we're gonna call it attack. So just place attack and hit enter. So what we need to drag all of the frames of attack. Before that, you have to hit the record button to record the animation. Okay, so cool. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna drag all of the frames, attack frames, into animation tab. Okay, now if we play the animation, as you can see, it's pretty much fast. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make spaces between these keyframes. So you're gonna like 40, I guess would be fine. Yes, pretty cool. So what we're gonna do, hit once again the red button or record button. Okay, we have created those two animation that we need. Now I'm gonna drag this animation tab to the down, and if we go to animator tab, and if I select the patrol enemy, as you can see, patrol enemy underscore run by default selected. Okay, so it will be default state, but you can choose any of them default state. Just right click on them and set as play default state, but I'm gonna leave it as a patrol enemy underscore run. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to attack animation when the player is comes in attack range, something like that. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a bool parameter which will be true or false. Okay, if that is true or in range, we're gonna call it something like in range, and we're gonna set it true whenever the player comes in attack range. So it will go to play patrol enemy attack animation. Okay, so what we need to create a bool parameter in the left side. As you can see, parameter. So what we need, hit the plus icon over there and select bool one, and we're gonna call it something like in range, I guess, in range. Okay, and we're gonna set it to, okay, we're gonna transition between attack animation and run animation. So what we need, right click on make transition, right click on patrol enemy underscore run transition, and make transition to patrol enemy underscore attack animation. But we're gonna choose a condition in which condition we actually want to go. So we're gonna select this arrow, and we're gonna untick has exit time. Basically this means it will play the 50 or 60% or 90% enemy run animation, then it will go attack animation. But we're not gonna do that, we're gonna go immediately whenever the player comes in attack range. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna untick this has exit time, and also we're gonna set transition duration to 0. We're not gonna wait like that, so we're gonna put it 0, and we're gonna choose a condition in which condition actually we want to go. So we're gonna set this in range parameter to true. If it's true, then we will go to attack animation. So we have to hit the plus icon over here. As you can see, in range it's true. So if in range parameter is true, then we're gonna go to attack animation, and we're gonna set this in range parameter via our code. Okay, firstly what we need, if I select the petrol enemy, as you can see, an animator component has been added to our enemy, as you can see. So this is responsible for switching animation and playing the animation. So we're gonna grab this reference of this animator component, then we can tweak the value over here. So we also need to go back to player petrol enemy underscore run. Okay, or we just gonna stuck in the attack animation. So what we need to go back to enemy petrol enemy underscore run enemy run animation when the player is like not in attack range. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna right click on enemy attack animation. Okay, a petrol enemy attack animation, and make transition. We're gonna make transition to petrol enemy underscore run animation, and we're gonna choose a condition in which condition we want to go. So select this transition and untick has exit time. We're gonna go to immediately run animation whenever the player is not in attack range. Okay, we're gonna untick this, and we're gonna set transition duration to 0. Okay, and we're gonna choose a condition, which condition actually we want to go in petrol enemy run animation. We're gonna set this in range parameter to false whenever the player is not in attack range. Okay, if it's false, okay, if it's false, then we're gonna go to petrol enemy underscore run state. So we're gonna choose that condition in range, and we're gonna set it to false. If the in range is false, petrol enemy underscore run animation will be played. But if in range is true, if I select this one, enemy will play the petrol enemy attack animation, as you can see. Now we have created these two states. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna control this via our code. So what we need to open up the we're gonna open up the enemy attack script. Okay, so petrol enemy script, we're gonna open up that. Before that, we have to do overrides and then apply all. As you can see, this one becomes +1 plus. Basically we also need to change in the prefab as well. So after a hit apply, it will change, or it will add the component animator component in the prefab, or we made that copy of this game object, so it will also do that in that. Okay, I hope you get the idea. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna open up the petrol enemy script. So firstly we need to grab this animator component to tweak the value over there. Okay, to tweak the value over there, we need this animator component. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab this in the start function. As you know, start function get call whenever the game starts, and it just call one time. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab the reference of that animator. So we're gonna create a private animator field. Okay, private, and if we set it private, we won't able to see an inspector, but we're gonna grab the reference in the start. Okay, animator, and the type of component is animator, and you can call something like anim or animator, something like that. I'm gonna call it animator, and in the start we're gonna grab the reference. As you know, start function get call whenever the game start, and it just call one time. So we're gonna grab the reference of this animator. Okay, so what we need to set animator. Okay, animator equal to this dot get component, and we have to pass the name animator. Okay, animator, and we make this first bracket. And what we are doing, as you can see, animator, we just getting the component of animator. Basically we grabbing the component, animator component. Now we have the reference, now we can tweak the value. Now we have grabbed the animator component in this start. Okay, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna do it over here. As you can see, if I go to update function, okay, update function, as you can see, we just moving the character. Transform dot translate function just moves the character. It will take the direction, as you can see, vector2 dot right, and we have multiplied with speed and the time dot delta time. Basically it will move left and right. Okay, whenever the ray is not colliding with the ground layer, we just flipping the character. As you can see, detecting ground we have created in the last video. Okay, if you haven't checked that out, you can go, okay, of this series. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna check. Okay, we're gonna use vector to distance function. Okay, So firstly what we need this player position. Okay, we also need the player position. If we go to player, as you can see in the inspector we have tag as a player. So what you need to do, go to inspector, hit the tag over here, it will be untagged. So what you need to do, add tag, and hit the plus icon and name that tag to something like player. Okay, player, and select the tag. Okay, and assign player a game object as a player tag. Okay, so we already have assigned it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab the reference of this player position in the start. So we will have the position of the player, and we're gonna check the distance between our enemy and the player position. If it comes in attack range or some kind of distance, okay, distance between become lesser or equal to attack range, what we're gonna do, we're gonna set this parameter. If we go to enemy petrol enemy escape, we're gonna set this in range parameter to true, so it will play the attack animation. Okay, I hope you get the idea. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to script once again, and we're gonna make private transform animate player position. So basically transform basically position. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna say private, okay, private transform that will be player. So you can call something like player position or player transform or player. I'm gonna leave it as a player and end up with semicolon. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab the reference of player. We need the position of the player to check distance between our enemy and the player. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to start function. We firstly need to grab the reference of the any player. So what we're gonna do, player equal to, we're gonna find the player by game object. Okay, game object dot find object, we tag that we have tagged our player as a player tag. As you seen in the inspector, we have tagged we have assigned it our player as a player tag. So you also have to do that. Okay, else you will get an error. So that's why. So we're gonna pass the player tag, okay, sorry, player tag, and then dot transform. So basically transform, as you can see, this is a transform component, so that's why we have passed transform, basically position. Okay, so we are grabbing the reference of player in the start function. Firstly we are going to game object, and we are finding the game object. If the game object has player tag, so we are grabbing the reference of the player position in the start, as you can see. Now we have both of this. We also have the animator reference and the player position reference. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to update function. As you know, update function get call every single frame. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna check between our player position and our enemy own position. We're gonna check distance between. Okay, if it's come in certain range, what we're gonna do, we're gonna play the attack animation of enemy. So we're gonna go, firstly have to go to animator, and we're gonna set that in range parameter, which is bool. We're gonna set that bool to true. Before that, what we have to do, we're gonna check if, okay, if factor 2, we have to use this function factor 2 dot distance. Basically this will take the two position, and it will check. Okay, it will compare. So what we're gonna as you can see, vector a, vector 2, vector b, basically those two position it will compare. So firstly we're gonna pass the player position. Okay, player dot position, and we're gonna pass the own position. So transform dot position means over here the petrol enemy position. So if the distance between, if it's lesser than or equal to something like 3f, instead of hard coding this, what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a float variable, and we're gonna make it public so we can adjust in the inspector. So what we need to go to top, and we're gonna set in the down, and we're gonna make that public to see in the inspector. That will be float. Okay, float variable, and you can call something like the attack range or in range, something like that. I'm gonna call it something like attack range. Okay, by default I'm going to say 3 unit or 3f, basically attack range. I guess we already have created that parameter over here, as you can see, attack range. So I'm gonna pass by default I am going to select 3 unit. Okay, 3 units. So I'm gonna replace this 3 with our attack range. Okay, and we made it public so we can adjust in the inspector as well, as you can see over here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make these brackets. So basically vector2 dot distance function takes two position first. So we have passed our enemy player position and our own position. Basically transform dot position means over here petrol enemy position. If the distance between our player position and the enemy position, if it's lesser than our attack range, and we have by default we selected 3 attack range, but we can adjust in the inspector. So if it's the lesser than or equal to attack range, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna play the attack animation. Okay, we're gonna play the attack animation, and what we're gonna do, we're not gonna move in that condition. We just only want to attack the player. So over here as you can see, transform dot translate function just moves the character left, moves the character as you can see. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put it into a else condition. Okay, if the enemy sorry, if the player is not in attack range or attack range, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna move the character. Okay, we're gonna move the character, so we're gonna do it else condition. We so control X for cut, and control V for paste. So but if the player comes in our attack range, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna play the attack animation. But if the player is not in attack range or something like that, what we are doing, we are just moving the character over here as you can see in else condition. But if the character is comes in attack range, what we're gonna do, we're gonna firstly go to animator. Okay, and we're gonna set that in range bool parameter as you seen in the animator tab. So okay, we're gonna go to animator first, and we're gonna set bool parameter that is in range. Okay, that is in range. What we're gonna do, we're gonna set it true, because the player is in attack range. Okay, attack range. Else if the player is not attack range, what we are doing, we just moving the character over here as you can see, transform dot translate. This function just takes the direction which direction you are want to go, and over here detecting ground, just checking if the ray is colliding with the ground layer or not. If it's not colliding, it just flipping the character. Okay, so over here as you can see, we're just moving the character. So what we're gonna do, we need to set this in range parameter to false, else the enemy will stuck in the player attack animation as you seen in the animator tab. If it's false, so it will go to player petrol enemy run animation. So what we need to do, we need to go to animator, and we're gonna set that bool parameter. Okay, we're gonna set that bool parameter which is in range, and we're gonna set it to false. Okay, we're gonna set it to false, so it will go to petrol enemy at run animation. Okay, so and end up with semicolon and control S on your keyboard to save this and head again to Unity. Okay, so we will able to see the attack range. As you can see, by default we have selected 3 unit, but you can adjust over here, that's why we made it public. Okay, and we also grabbing the reference in this start. Okay, as you can see, we are grabbing the player reference and also the animator reference, as you can see in this start. Now we have both of these reference. Now we can tweak the value over there. We can check between distance our enemy and our player. Okay, and if the player comes in attack range, we are playing the attack animation and we are not moving. Else if the player is not attack range, we just moving the character. Okay, and we are setting in range parameter to false. So if it's false, so it will go to enemy petrol enemy run animation. Okay, if we now hit play, okay, if we now hit play, you will able to see. Okay, you will able to see, just wait for to compile, and you will able to see the player. If the player comes in attack range or attack range, as you can see, by default we have selected 3, but you can adjust. Okay, as you can see, player enemy plays attack animation. Okay, but if we are not in an in attack range, as you can see, he's just patrolling around the ground. As you can see, patrol enemy underscore run animation is playing. But whenever we get an attack range, as you can see, patrol enemy attack animation just playing by default. As you can see, in range parameter becomes full whenever in not we are in attack range, as you can see. I hope you get the idea. So in the next video, we're gonna implement the attack function. Okay, we're gonna attack the enemy, sorry, we're gonna attack the player, and player will take damage. Okay, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna also gonna flip the enemy to the player direction. Okay, if the player comes in attack range. Oh, okay. So in this video, just this. Okay, in the next video we will cover that. Okay, so if you are new to my channel, then subscribe it for future tutorials. Okay, and if you enjoyed with this video, like this video and share it with your friends who want to learn Unity from the beginning. Okay, and if you want to support me, you can support me on patreon.com. And lastly, thanks for watching this video. Okay, goodbye.